Hello, welcome to episode 1 of One Question, where we explore the elephant in the room connected with the work we bring to the world. These are conversations about the misperceptions people have with our work, sometimes from the conversations we have in our own head, what we've been taught, or societal norms. I'm your host, Stephanie McAuliffe, an energy alchemist and boundary strategist, founder of the Way of the Diamond Warrior. I guide leaders to build a business that is a reflection of their soul's calling. Today, we are joined by Shelley Martinez, an anxiety alchemist who helps people transform perfectionism into excellence and shift their anxiety into a superpower. Welcome, Shelley.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, Stephanie. This is amazing.
So, Shelley, tell us more about the work you do and what is that elephant in the room, the misperception you want to take a bite out of today regarding this important work you bring to the world?
Yeah, that is such a good question. So I work primarily with women with high functioning anxiety, which is rampant to the point of epidemic in our culture. And I do this by helping them to reframe, to be able to tame their anxiety, to understand it and accept it so that they can start using it for them instead of against them, which sounds kind of crazy, but you can actually transform your anxiety into a superpower when you understand it and can regulate yourself in the moment and really use it for what it was intended for. Because anxiety is a really important message. And all of your emotions, in fact, give you information on a minute-to-minute basis about your world, about you, internally, externally, what's going on, what you need to do next. And so getting separated from our feelings, seeing them as a nuisance, as a lot of people do, really does us a huge disservice. And I'm so glad you're asking this question because I feel like there's so many myths about anxiety. One, I just covered that people feel like anxiety is out to get them, when in fact, it's really important information. And the basic message is simply heads up, pay attention. Things are changing. This is different. It's akin to a yellow traffic light. And without that, we'd have massive, massive problems. We'd have way more accidents than we do right now. People would get hurt more. We need this, right? And yet, unfortunately, our culture has pathologized anxiety and the people who have it, which unfortunately are primarily women.
It's so fascinating that you use the traffic light analogy, because I know that so many of us, when we see the yellow light, we just want to hit green and we wanted to fly through it and ignore it and not pay any attention. And we only pay attention when that light turns red.
Sometimes, yes.
So what is that misperception, like the bite you want to take out of the elephant regarding all of this?
So and like I said, there's so many myths about it. On the one hand, one myth is that high functioning anxiety is normal and it's just the price of being successful, because most of the people I work with are successful and bright. At the same time, though, the culture pathologizes it and says, what is wrong with you? Even though hustle culture in and of itself creates anxiety. Because it's just too much coming at us. It's too much, too fast, too soon. And I just yesterday read this term, which other people might have heard it. It's toxic productivity, which really describes hustle culture, I think. And so you've got this push-pull with, on the one hand, it's creating all this anxiety because of, be productive, do this thing, do it perfectly, do it, 587 hours a week or whatever. And at the same time says, what's wrong with you for feeling this way? What is your problem?
Well, and why are you so tired? And that was my experience from Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
If you weren't pushing to achieve and to get to the next level and putting in your 14 and 16-hour days, and your success was measured based on the amount of money and the position and the title and all of the external things. And if you took time off to actually recoup, I mean, there were people in that last organization I worked for who were fired for taking time off.
Oh, wow.
And not being on their BlackBerry. I'm dating myself. So how do we shift this?
Yes. So I'm so glad you asked me that, because that is so much of what my work is about, is identifying that anxiety is a normal, natural thing to feel, that it's an emotion, not a personality trait. We have this idea that we're just anxious people. And because our culture also tends to hand us these very surface solutions that basically are about hide it, stuff it, pretend it doesn't exist, which doesn't work for most of us and just makes us feel more broken and crazier and more in this push-pull. My approach is very different, because I teach people how to reframe their anxiety, to understand it so that it can work for them instead of against them. And we do that by actually rewiring some of those beliefs that are conscious, and especially the ones that are subconscious that feed a lot of this, and how to regulate in the moment so that we can use the information of all of our feelings to be able to guide us to be more aligned, more authentic, more joyful, to be able to have ease and stop feeling like our hair's on fire all the time, or like we're in this, death match game of whack-a-mole, which I think is what a lot of work in life feels like these days. And again, that's the hustle culture. So to step aside of it and women to regain their power, because I think part of the reason we feel, well, we express more anxiety and tend to come in for help more often. And women, by, the research shows us we have more anxiety than men do.
So do you think, and this question just came to mind based on what you were saying, do you think this is why we're seeing such an uptick in the ADHD diagnosis in middle-aged and older women?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think our culture, and again, this toxic productivity, the hustle culture, but I mean, this is, America, although I talk to people in other countries that feel the same way. Mm-hmm. So that constant coming at us and do and do and do and put aside your feelings and what your body's doing and all of this stuff literally creates a wiring in our brain that makes it hard to focus and hard to concentrate. And those, of course, are also traits of anxiety. And it literally causes us to have all of those problems that come with ADHD.
Yeah, because to me,
lose things, disorganized, all that.
There's no surprise in that, because women are finally speaking up. We have a lot of things happening in the world that are bringing up, I think, the buried emotions and feelings, what I call with the bubbles that we swallow when we're young, because we aren't given a voice, we aren't given the opportunity to express. We're told to just suck it up and turn off your emotions. That the things that are happening in the world are raising these things up for us to finally be able to heal them.
I agree completely. And I think that's the only way to heal the world, to change it. In fact, that's my mission. Is I do believe that women are going to heal and change the world, but we can't do that when we're weighed down with all this emotional baggage. And so our intrinsic way of knowing things through our body, through our feelings, when this has been suppressed by the culture and we're told that something's wrong with us for having strong feelings about things, we, tend to distance from ourselves in the way we know things, because we're buying into that. We're going, okay, well, apparently I'm the one with the problem because I feel really upset about XYZ. Instead of going, no, XYZ is really messed up and we need to change XYZ.
Yeah, it's time for us to stop carrying the burdens and the responsibility of the world around us
Yes,
and really stand in our own power through our own healing.
absolutely.
And it begins the trauma and the anxiety that we've carried of these things that, and some of it's inherited as well. And there's lots of layers to this.
You bet. You bet. But that can all be rewired if we know how to do it.
Yeah.
If we know how to do it.
So is that the gift that you're offering today? Say a little bit more about the freebie that you're sharing with our audience.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this little gift. What it is it's a mini class I think it's about 30 minutes. And in it, I'm teaching 4 of my favorite techniques that all take under 5 minutes to be able to reground. Whether you're anxious, you're angry, you're, irritable, stressed out, overwhelmed, whatever it is, these are going to work for all of those things. In addition, of course, to anxiety. And the thing here in my teaching is once we get the message of our emotion, because each one carries a message to us. Once we get that message, then we have to be able to let it go so that the system flows correctly. It's like if you hold on to it in your body or your psyche, then it clogs things up and the information stops being useful.
Mm-hmm.
Then it stops guiding you. And so once you've got the message, I call it catch and release. So we notice what's happening in our body and our mind, our psyche, and go, okay, I'm feeling anxious, and this means something's changing. I need to pay attention, heads up. But once I've got that message and have a plan to act, or disregard if it's something minor, like there was a wasp that was outside of the window, but I thought it was inside the window of my room yesterday. So I had a moment of panic and I was like, oh, wait, I don't need to do anything. It's outside, right? But still, that's a plan. Then you need to bring your body back down to baseline so that you're able to actually hear the messages as they come. And so these tools will teach you how to regulate very quickly, very easily. There's some things that you can do anywhere. And like I said, all of them take less than 5 minutes, actually, probably less than 3. But,
Thank you for sharing this. So as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to add or share?
Yeah, I think to address that myth of, your anxiety isn't actually helping you be more productive, it's making it harder. And that no matter how long you have felt anxious, no matter if it's a family pattern like it is for me, and I was anxious since I was a child. That's how I got into this work. So for half of my life, I was incredibly anxious. You can change that. You really can change that. You are not doomed. Your biology is not your destiny. And your history is not a sentence.
Amen to that. Shelley, thank you so much for being here today. And if folks want to download your freebie, they are down in the notes and they can then connect with you further. And thank you for starting off this series of One Question.
Thank you. This has been so exciting. I love this. I love this concept, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your other interviews.
Beautiful. Thank you.